Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I wanted to talk about Venus trine or sextile to Uranus in the natal chart. Just continuing on these fun aspect series. I've just done the square and I've just done the conjunction also of Venus and Uranus, and yeah, there's never a dull moment with these people. The trine and the sextile still have that classic Uranian signature with the love life where expect the unexpected. This is still a dominant theme. There's still an energy of, not quite having a normal love life when we have the trine and sextile of Venus and Uranus, but it generally is less painful when we have these harmonious aspects. It's almost actually that people with the trine specifically, even more so because it's even like so ingrained within them, these people are very comfortable with the fact that their relationships are unusual or sporadic or beginning very suddenly, that impulsive love nature of a Venus Uranus person. People with the trine are actually probably the most comfortable with that energy. So we could even see um, potentially more Uranian energy coming through here than even with the harder aspects, because the aspects of ease, the energy is flowing, so it potentially can even increase it, as like these people are comfortable with their uniqueness as well. Like they're comfortable with themselves to, more of a degree than people with the other aspects. And they are accepting of the uniqueness in themselves, but also the uniqueness in others. So they're very attracted to, oddball types, or, people who are very maybe Uranian themselves, strong Aquarius signature, or, kind of feisty or unusual people, maybe astrologers, or there's still a very unusual quality about the love life. Now, with trines and sextiles of Venus, and specifically Venus to Uranus, there's actually a lot of artistic talent that they might be sleeping on, because these aspects can be more lazy. Well, specifically trines can be very lazy, and sextiles, take a little bit of effort to activate. But there's actually a lot of artistic talent with these aspects. I've actually, in my way back in my past, in my late teens, early 20s, I've dated men with the trine. They were both musicians. And then I've also, my late husband had the square, and one of my past loves had the conjunction. So, me as a Venus in Aries person, and the Venus sign is, what you're attracted to, or what is pleasurable for you, the kind of energy that you like in a love relationship. I think that people with Venus in Aries, or people with Venus in a fire sign, can like Venus Uranus types who are not often as accepted by people who like more stable types, right? But anyways, just interesting. Side note about myself here is that, yeah, I've known men with this, and they are quite comfortable with the unusual. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not loyal. They could have other indicators going on here that could show that maybe they aren't as loyal. But the thing with a Venus Uranus trine and a Venus Uranus sextile is like they are open to where things are going. This isn't like a plutonic signature where, they have to own you and they want to just keep you like kept, right? Like these people are actually very freedom oriented. And even if we've got some strong plutonic stuff going on, maybe if we got a lot of Taurus or Scorpio, this is going to be lessened. But like these people generally, like, I'm going to say this, they stay friends with their exes. They have no problem with that. They actually, it's common, like lovers become friends, or friends become lovers. There's a very friendly energy with Venus trine Uranus or Venus sextile Uranus that is actually very unique from how, many people in the world view love. This is actually like a very open-minded sort of love. Now, we're not as likely with the trine or the sextile to be out there doing all kinds of crazy stuff in the love life. I mean, we can sometimes see that because we're open to things, we're open to exploration with these aspects, but there's not as much tension as with the other aspects. So it's not like there's as many crazy or wild experiences in love, but it's like whatever experiences we do have, and there probably will be a few with these aspects, they're generally positive, or we're able to interpret them as positive, meaning we don't end up having as much of the hard feelings as people often do, because we see relationships as growth. We see people as, we actually like people for the most part with these aspects. And we like, other people's quirks, and like there's a very open, kind of like observant attitude toward people that is yeah, not as judgmental as certain other signs. We're actually quite like open to things with these aspects. So this is one of the beautiful gifts of Venus trine Uranus, or Venus sextile Uranus, is we're kind of like, I don't want to say childlike, because there is a lot of wisdom here, but there's like a lack of like guardedness, or a lack of like need to protect our heart when we have these aspects. Like there isn't as much fear in social relationships and in love. And it's actually an interesting manifestation of this is that people with these aspects can be very funny, and they'll say what they mean. There's an authenticity, there's a lack of reserve with people that like they'll actually come out with some really funny stuff, and you'll be like, who would say that out loud? Like these people have no chill as far as social relationships go. And like yeah, so they can actually be very popular, they can be very funny, they can be, this is a more social aspect. And you could still say like, oh, you're introverted or whatever, but like if you do get into a social situation, there's usually no problem in making other people feel comfortable with your humor, making other people feel seen because you're very observant, and making other people, yeah, feel accepted because of your non-judgmental nature. And yeah, these people are actually quite good socially. They can be very flirty, and with an inability to kind of shut that off. They're just very naturally flirty and captivating, and very sexually attractive to people. There usually isn't an issue in attracting soulmates or manifesting soulmates when we have this aspect, which I feel like is like an opening to the world. Like it's like when you have Venus trine Uranus or Venus sextile Uranus, it's almost like your Venus is saying, well, hey, I'm open to experiences and love and life, and like I'm gonna grow from them, I'm gonna learn from them. There's kind of like an exuberance, and you really can see like the Venus Uranus energy function in its highest. Now that's not to say that there isn't going to be pain in love, but like I said, it's easier for these people to have a positive attitude about their love experiences, and they sort of lack that like I said, that judgment, or like perceiving social situations or love relationships as negative, because they perceive them as growth. They perceive them as like the wisdom they're gaining from these different experiences. So it's a very different energy from, say, the conjunction or even the hard aspects. Well, the conjunction, not so much, but the hard aspects where it's like there is like more fear to do with like the ups and downs in their love life. These people can deal with the ups and downs and be, quite open to whatever life may bring. And like one of my books says about it, that like this is still a divorce aspect, but like they gain through divorce. So like rather than it being as much, suffering and pain and breakups, it's like they're still going to go through the Venus Uranus ups and downs, but it's like they gain through them too. Like they're able to, like when we have a flow of energy like a trine, or the potential for a flow of energy like the sextile, it's like we can use the energy creatively. We can use the energy to bring peace, to bring harmony, to bring beauty, to bring artistic creativity through. So it's actually like I would consider these aspects to be extremely lucky and showing an actual good karma of love in the past. Like you've been a loving person in the past. You've been in like past lives, I mean, and you've been potentially, I also think that this could show like a generosity too. Like there's usually financial gain, or at least an ease in attracting wealth and attracting people, like the Venus function. Now you could have other things going on, like Venus squaring Saturn or squaring Pluto or something that's going to show things are a lot harder, so you can never just take one aspect in isolation. But people with these aspects, they might not be rich, but like they're able to attract in what they need, and they're able to attract it in through like unusual circumstances. So like it could just be that someone really likes them or finds them captivating and like gives them a bunch of money or something, like something very unusual that other people would think, what, like that makes no sense, like, or the lottery, or like, stuff like that. Like they might, or they could actually make money through their artistic endeavors, which is, of course, more rare in this world. So there is a gift, there is a knack for being in the right place at the right time, saying the right thing to the right person, and like being in the flow socially. And like I said, these people can be very shocking because you don't expect people to behave in a Uranian way. And like these people are so comfortable with that Uranian energy. I swear they can come out with like some of the funniest things, or just the most like off the wall like stuff, and like and then like also at the same time they're not off-putting in that, which is like different than the hard aspects of Venus Uranus, where it's like shocking, scandalous, and everybody takes issue. Well, with the trine and the sextile, it's like these people can do all that the other aspects are doing and get away with it. So you could potentially see still the downside of Venus Uranus aspects here, where like here today, gone tomorrow. The affections can come on really suddenly and then maybe like turn off also, or we could see the many affairs. Like I said, these people are very attractive, they're very comfortable with the Venus Uranus energy, so we could see some crazy stuff going on in the love life, and maybe even more so because of their comfort with it and their lack of insecurity with the love life and being open. These are like the open people, right? They could be into open relationships, they could be into just even not necessarily that, but like a style of relationship that is just very different or unique. Like it could be long distance, or it could be, whatever. They're very open to things when we have the trine or sextile. And yeah, like I said, they're very captivating, they're very attractive. They do have like an allure, and this isn't physical, this is like energetic. There's something very freeing about being around people with these aspects. You feel like lighter. You feel lighter, and they have a light energy, and they're lovers. They love love, and they have a real pure energy around love that, like I said, it's almost childlike. It's like it's shocking in a way that they just lack that kind of that reserve that people have socially. They don't have that. And you could have other things going on that would show that they maybe have some of it, but like on one level they really just have an openness to people, and they kind of just like when they're looking at you, you can tell they're just like, I'm not going to judge you for anything. Like they're just like observing, And they can be shocked though when other people judge them, because they're like, wait, like, what? This isn't an open and free world where I can just be myself. Like, you're gonna take issue with that? Like, they can not understand when other people are judging them because they are very open, and so they don't quite understand that, oh, the rest of the world isn't. So you could also see that maybe in childhood, like their uniqueness was more nurtured by their parents. Not always, but in some cases, you might have seen that maybe there was a parent or an older role model who encouraged them to develop their unique self. And so that's how there's an okayness with that unique self and with others' unique selves. Um, so yeah, it's a very fortunate aspect. You could see even more of the Venus Uranus energy coming out with these aspects in some cases, but it's also generally more forgiven when we have these aspects. So I'd love to know your experience of having Venus trine or sextile Uranus. Of course, the trine is more inborn, it's more natural. It's actually less likely that you realize you have it. The sextile, it takes a bit of effort to activate these qualities, but they're there, and maybe there's even a little bit more awareness that they're there. Both are going to have an exciting life in general. But yeah, let me know, you guys, your experiences of these aspects. If you have them in your natal chart, I'd love to know. Or if you're with someone, you know someone, I'd love to know. And thank you so much for watching. We will talk soon. Okay, bye, you guys.